Hi. I wanted to talk more about this idea of choice and choosing and agency. I've heard that brought up a few times in different videos that I've watched, and people say that it's like a life affirming kind of thing, and I kind of agree with it. I'm kind of at this point where I start to realize that the ability to really like make decisions for yourself is actually what I think the people we like idolize actually do with their lives. For example, like one of the videos that I watched was about Tyler the Creator. I'm not even like a big fan. I don't even know his work really, but I know of his presence and that he's kind of done his own thing. But in one of the clips, he talks about how like he just had this like belief in himself, and that when he told him like his goals that he's going to get a Grammy and this and that, people didn't believe him. But his response was basically like, "You don't know what I'm capable of." And I think that that's true for a lot of like creators, like the people who are like the idols, the actors, the entrepreneurs, the like business people, the artists and stuff that we admire. They seem to just have this drive to do things. And some people, other videos have called it like a sense of delusion, but I don't believe that's quite true. I think it's just that they aren't afraid to to actually just figure it out and to know that they are capable of learning and changing and improving and growing. Um, and I think that's simply it. From my own experience, I've learned that yeah, a lot of my own fears and things that I grew up with and sort of insecurities is what's really holding me back from doing these things. For the longest time, I didn't even want to show up on camera. I didn't want to just be me. I wanted to be like a faceless channel. Uh, and it's all because of, yeah, these insecurities that were brought up within me. And I sense them now. Like I'm sort of reconnected with myself, but I sense it a lot more. So it makes me wonder like how often we make choices for ourselves and what's sort of just driven by these sort of expectations and tracks and things that are just thrown at us, and we just like are too afraid to get off of them. um Recently I watched the movie No Other Choice. It's like the latest, I think Park Chan-wook, I think that's the right director. And it's I actually don't think it's like the best movie. I think it's really good, but definitely stuck with me. But it's this idea of this man, this middle-aged man who has a family he's taking care of and a couple of dogs. And immediately in the beginning of the movie, he gets laid off. He works in a paper company. I don't think I'm spoiling too much right now. Um, but he has to like grapple with that fact that he lost his position as sort of the provider, and it's sort of causing ripples in his family, and they have to make changes. So the movie is sort of like a, I don't know, like a dark comedy thriller where he has to like chase down, I guess, people who are in his way of him reclaiming his position. Uh, but the whole thread of everything was that he feels like he has no other choice but to like, I guess, actually like literally eliminate his competition. Um, and even like the people that he chases, this is more spoiler, but the people that he chases down, they also had a choice. Like one of the victims, I guess, his wife or his wife's family or something like offered them the chance to open like a cafe, but he was so hung up on this idea that no, he has to work in paper. And it's sort of like ridiculous when you think about it. But that's like the whole thread of this movie is everyone along the chain all feels like they have to do something that they cannot choose otherwise. And I start to see the ridiculousness in all of this stuff. It's sort of like, um, yeah, like me going to school, or I guess being like a computer programmer. I feel like I have to make more money. I have to save up and buy a home or something, or else I'll somehow be destitute and be in ruin for the rest of my life. Um, or if I take a leap and try doing something creative or something personal, that it won't go anywhere, and what's the point? And maybe it won't make me look good. Maybe it'll make other people around me look bad as well. Um, or I'm just a nobody. Like, I'm not a big celebrity. I don't have any big, talents and accomplishments. And but we feel these things, and they limit our choices. Like, in reality, you can do whatever you really want. Barring certain limitations. But even me, like in my family, we grew up sort of poor and worked their way up. There's also, troubles at home around money, and that's why I think I've absorbed some of this fear around money. But yeah, I didn't have a lot, but I, I guess I'm lucky. I live in Canada, but there is like the possibility of borrowing money to go to school. You can go find some sort of training program or some internship. You can work and save up money so that you can buy yourself time to like do something else. I understand it's like not everyone is exactly in that situation or can make these choices exactly, but it's about figuring out a way. Um, or say I wanted to start a business, and if I didn't have any savings, I can go write up a business plan and try to find money, or try to take a loan and take the risk. Um, but the whole idea is that you can figure these things out if you choose to. I think the thing is that we often don't even believe that it's a choice. We believe like, oh, I can't do that. I have no other choice but to keep doing what I'm doing, or that I can't move somewhere else, that, I can't do this, I can't do this. And so you just like keep yourself on that track, um, unwillingly, and it's subconsciously in a lot of ways. But I think that that is actually just driven by our innate feelings. Like, I guess a little bit more of the complexity is that those feelings are instilled onto you throughout like your childhood and your upbringing. Because if you don't like ever see other options available to you, you've never like had an example of what's possible and how to do it, and um, that like other people that are like you or were in the same situation as you that figured out a way, it doesn't feel like it's possible. Even if you necessarily aren't like afraid or anxious or hesitant, and you do believe in yourself, sometimes you don't even have that like possibility in your head. Like, if I don't know, there's some weird career like being like a quantum computer programmer, or um, some strange like, I don't know, obscure like archaeology or like biologist that studies like a particular animal or something like that. You didn't even know that existed. You didn't even know that anyone does that. That's not even a choice that's on your radar. So, anyways, I think that, yeah, this idea of self belief and motivation and all that is good. I think ultimately, like this idea of having a choice and having agency is really critical, but it comes from like this mishmash of things, these like feelings and possibilities um, that allow us to like really know we can make some other choice than what we're currently doing. You are able to just like get off your track, or at least like think about what other directions you can go, and then start taking the steps to make that possible. I think of like if I'm talking about a track and a train, like there's a momentum, so it's hard to just screech to a halt. But you can like redirect it. If one example I think of is like when you play pool. I used to play pool a lot, but if you like change the angle just like ever so slightly, you're gonna miss your shot. And the further away that your shot is, the more your angle like deviates. So if you just like nudge yourself in a different direction, it might not feel like anything's happening right away, but like 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you could be in a totally different place than where you were headed. And I think that's the power of knowing that you can go in a different direction. Yeah, so that's it for today.